talking with Jesus. And he asked Jesus, "Jesus, how can I be with God forever?" Nice stretch. Well, Jesus answered him, "What does the Bible say?" And that smart man said, "Well, Jesus, the Bible says, love God with all your heart." Can you lift your heart up to God? Stretch. And the Bible says, love your neighbor like yourself. Can you grab your knees and round your back for another stretch? Let's try it again. Lift your heart. Love God with all your heart. And love your neighbor as yourself. Ooh, I hear great breathing. Well, Jesus said, "You're right. That's how you can be with God forever." But that smart man had another question. He said, "Jesus, who is my neighbor? Let's make our body like a house in our neighborhood." And Jesus answered him with a story. Let's listen to that story. We're going to tuck our toes and come up. Whoa, lift, lift, lift. This pose in yoga is called down dog because dogs like to stretch this way. Let's start moving our feet, bending our knees, walking. So here's the story Jesus told. He said one day there was a man walking from one town to another. Let's walk. Walking to the town. All right, lift one leg, look forward and step that leg between your hands. Now let's see if we can balance and come up. One leg is bent, the other leg is straight. Great job. Let's stretch our arms out. Well, on the road, that man got attacked. Let's attack. They stole his money. They hurt him. Oh no. Straighten your leg and move both toes forward. Let's look at that man lying on the road. He's so sad. He doesn't feel good. He's hurting. Come back up. Well, luckily, there was a man from a church. He came by walking on the road and saw the man there on the road. Can you touch one hand to the ground? If you can't, maybe you can put a pillow or a block so you can reach. Well, that man from the church saw a hurting man, but he just passed him by. Lift your other arm up high in the sky. Oh, come back up. How sad. That church man didn't help him. Well, luckily, there was another man from a different church. And he saw the hurting man. Let's put our hand down. But he just passed him by too. Oh, that's so sad. He was not helping. Let's come back up. Well, there was a third man. Let's hop our feet together. Ready? Hop! And the third man saw our hurt friend lying on the ground. Let's take one leg straight out, and the other leg is bent at our knee. Well, the third man was from a town called Samaria. He was a Samaritan, just like we are American from America. It was the town where he was from. Well, the Samaritan saw the man. Let's stretch over this leg, and let's pretend like we're taking care of that man. He helped the man. He put on some bandages. Maybe he gave that man a kiss. He really was nice. Let's bend our other knee and stretch our other leg. Great job. You know what else he did? Let's look at the man. He's lying on the road. He helped him by picking him up on his donkey. Now our legs can be our donkey. You ready to put the man on our donkey? Maybe he wanted a blanket. Oh, stretch over that leg. Very good. Well, the Samaritan took that man to a hotel so he could rest. And he even paid for it. Now let's put our two bottom of our feet together. Well, Jesus finished the story and he asked that man, so who was a neighbor? Let's look. Was it the first man? Can you point on the ground? Was it that first man that just passed him by? What do you think, guys?
No.
Probably not. Was it the second man that also passed him by? No. Or was it the Samaritan who stopped to help, who took care of the man and took him to have rest? Was it him? Was he a neighbor?
Yes.
Yes, it was him. Let's now just fold our crisscross legs. Jesus said, you're right. He was the neighbor. Go and be like him. Namaste.
Namaste.
That was a great job, boys and girls. And I hope you can be a helper like the Samaritan. If you ever see anyone hurting, give them hugs. Ask them how they're doing and how you can help. Let's see if we can remember the whole story. And maybe you can tell your mom and your dad, all your friends and family, this beautiful yoga story. You ready, guys? One day there was a smart man who asked Jesus, how do I get to be with God forever? And Jesus answered, well, what does the Bible say? And the man said, well, the Bible says, love God with all your heart and love your neighbor like you like yourself. Well, Jesus said, that's the right answer. That's very good. But the man said, who is my neighbor exactly? And Jesus answered with a story. Jesus said, one day there was a man walking from one town to another town, when all of a sudden, he was attacked. Yeah, good job. Oh no, they stole his money. Let's look at him on the road. He's hurting. Aw. Well, there was a man walking down the road from a church. He saw the man, but just passed him by. Oh. Well, another man from a different church saw him, but he just passed him by the other way. Oh. But then a third man came. He was from the town of Samaria. He was a Samaritan. And he saw that man lying on the road, and he felt sorry for him and sad for him. And he was a helper. He put Band-Aids. He took care of him. Maybe he even gave him a hug and a kiss. Then he took his donkey, and he put the man up on his donkey and took him to a hotel so the man could rest. Then, feet palms to feet together. Then Jesus said, who was the neighbor? The first, the second, or the third man? And of course that smart man said, the Samaritan, of course. And Jesus said, you're right. Go and be like him. Namaste.
Namaste.
We love you, boys and girls. Thank you for joining us in today's Yoga Bible story.